Hello everybody. So it's been about a month at this point since we purchased this 2024 Subaru Ascent premium trim level in this, I don't know, whatever red version of the color is. I'm sure it's fanciness. It's a fancy color, and you know what, we love this car. I mean, here's the bottom line. This is the 1 month update, and don't you worry, I'm not gonna post an update every single month. This car does not get a whole lot of love and attention on the online, so I'm not gonna bore you to death with it. You see, it's got 922 miles. Maybe when I post it, this video is gonna have a few more because I'm filming this in advance. But in general, I mean, with a few exceptions, we love this car. I keep finding new and interesting things about it. Like, for example, all right, so I have the 3 doors in the back open. We have a nice large screen that shows it to us, and we got a small little representation. And the interesting thing is that I can't clear this upper, like, it locks itself out. So that's a one weird thing that I find. The other weird thing that I find is that in this entertainment system, everything is driven through the screen. As you can see, when you first start the car, it takes a few seconds for the screen to load. If you did turn off the car, and with the heat or with the cold blasting, obviously that doesn't exist. So you have to obviously just wait. I mean, you can't do anything about it. Also, another weird thing. Oh wow, it doesn't like that. Move shift lever to park. Okay, so it really doesn't want you to put it in reverse while driving. I mean, while having like doors open. So the screen is it's only half the screen. So all right, I gotta stop this. All right, sorry about that. I also had to take a phone call. So what I was gonna say is, I know it's gonna beep again. The backup camera is only like this far, this much, and then you have this half of the screen apparently for different sensors on a higher trim level, so it doesn't take the full width of the screen, or I guess the height of the screen. So that's kind of weird. But once again, at the same time, this is a great car. It drives very well. The 2.4 liter engine does great. I mean, it has a little pickup. It's no problem. You may have noticed a vacuum. This is one of the things why I'm filming this video is I want to vacuum this thing because I don't know how kids do that. I really don't. But kids have a gift, just like getting crap dirty everywhere. Like, I don't understand, how do like leaves get here? Like, okay, well, we have spare thing of shoes, but I have an 8-year-old and soon to be 3-year-old, and man, how do they get the crap everywhere? Just, I don't know. So I'm trying to keep this car as clean as possible. I do want to tell you that these aftermarket, plasticky, rubbery things, they do wonderful things. We took this car to the beach already several times. You can kind of see the sand is in here. I'm gonna try and vacuum this. I mean, I already vacuumed it right when we came back from the trip, and obviously my wife, being the resourceful lady that she is, as you can see, she carries a lot of crap that I wouldn't carry in my car, but whatever. Let's see, do I even know what's in here? Oh, okay, yeah. So there you go, got a little storage down there. So yeah, so these things, they do wonders. The seats, I mean, they're just pretty easy to move back. Yeah, look, these things, they do their job. So, even though it's a little narrow, like, why couldn't they do it up to here? I know I already asked that question. Also, I want to issue an official correction to my last video, or stuff that I didn't like about this gas cap. I was wrong. This gas cap does not self-lock. So I already mentioned that in my correction video, and I don't know if it's gonna lock itself. No. So basically, yeah. So when you do lock the car, it's running right now because I'm gonna vacuum. I don't want to die in there. It's pretty hot today. That little latch thing, it only latches itself closed when you have the car locked. So when I was trying to refuel it the first couple times when we first got the car, I didn't realize that my wife was locking the car because we were at a gas station. We were traveling in a town that we don't know. She felt like she needed to lock it. And so when you lock the car, this thing locks too. So I want to apologize to the Subaru, because I'm like, man, and she didn't tell me, because I was like, okay, like I can't open the gas cap. The car was running, it was really hot, so we had to have the you know, the car running so the kids and you know, we don't overheat. And I was like, man, there's something going on, I can't open it. So then finally, when we shut the car off, all the doors unlocked, the gas cap unlocked. So that led me to believe, it's like, man, like, does this thing know like that your car is running? So anyway, so that's correction. You know, one thing, having a black interior, all the sunscreen, so we obviously put sunscreen on our kids and on ourselves. All the sunscreen grease is starting to get to this. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. I mean, the winter is gonna be coming to us, but you can kind of see, you see this? That's a sunscreen. If this had a lighter interior, I guess it would have had other problems. You could kind of wipe it off, but you know, I do love the black interior, but at the same time, like, look at this. Like, I mean, I understand. Look, this car is gonna get destroyed. So again, kids have this ability to destroy stuff. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna waste my time talking when I'm gonna vacuum this car. But then there's one other thing at the end of the video that I'm gonna try and show you. It's another weird thing that I found about this Subaru, and actually, well, about a lot of the Subarus. I'm gonna show it to you, so stand by. All right, so what ended up being about 10 minutes for me, and a second for you. I got the vacuuming under control. I got some much cleaner space right here. I just used our house vacuum for this. I mean, it wasn't that bad that it would require a shop vac. So once again, I try to keep the illusion of this car still being brand new, even though it's got 1,000 miles. You know, it's the newest car we have. So that's a little vacuum in there. Also, I noticed something with this car, you know, having like the rear AC. When the AC runs, you have like an extra puddle on the back. You can kind of see the condensation flows from somewhere in the back, and then you have another pile there from the front. So you get two piles of condensate that kind of drains out the back. That's kind of interesting. I never had a vehicle with the rear AC. Other family members of ours do, so this was new to me. When I kind of saw a puddle, I'm like, what the heck is that? And it's dripping from a weird spot where usually there's no liquids there to be leaking, like an oil or coolant or anything. So when I touched it, I realized, oh, it must be just a condensate. Okay, so here is what I also wanted to show you. This is new to me. I never noticed it before, but basically we have an extra button right here. If you guys can see it, on the rear tailgate. Now, to open the rear tailgate, you have this button right here, and you have a backup camera here. This button, at first, when I pressed it, like, really not a whole lot has happened, but all it does, it locks the car, I believe. You see? So it locks the car. At first, I thought maybe this is to lift the rear glass, because I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. I didn't know that it could do that. Pressed it, nothing happens. The glass is fixed. Nothing opened this one, no problem. It just lifts up. Let's see, will I be able to get to it? No. All right, so I can't get to it. All right, so we're gonna have to close it. So yeah, so all this button does, it locks it. So I was like, well, that's odd. You have a smart key in your pocket. You have these little lines on the door to kind of lock it, and it's like, well, what is that for? I started reading in the manual. First of all, it was kind of hard to find, but apparently this button is to set a pin code, so you can basically lock the key inside and use this button to unlock it. And I'm like, that sounds awfully like this little blue oval is trying to copy another blue oval, which is right there. Oh, look, another Forester. That blue oval, because of the code, right, of the keypad. And I was like, well, how do you set this? Because all that happens when you press it, it just locks the car. So then when I started reading, I came across the fact that this is you can set a pin code, and by button presses, almost like a Morse code, you can set numbers, I think four numbers from 0 to 10. By the number of presses, you can unlock the car using that pin code. Now, I think it's a very strange way of Subaru incorporating some sort of like an active lifestyle where you can lock your keys in there and go, you know, where this precious, probably, you know, several $100 key fob will not get wet or destroyed or lost. But I'm like, man, there's got to be a better way, but apparently not. So I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna post the instructions that I found in the manual how to get this thing programmed, and I'm gonna try to follow those instructions. Very complex, if you ask me, very complicated, for no apparent reason, because ultimately, you know, if you don't want your car to be wet, you can just take the fob, right? There's a way to deactivate the fob, and you can drop it in there, and then you can just take the little metal thing that pops out here. I can't do it with one hand, and then you can just take that with you and then just lock it here, or, you know, put this in a plastic bag, I guess is the one way of doing it. So I'm gonna try to follow these instructions. I will need both hands, obviously, but I'll demonstrate and see if it works, because once again, kind of complicated unnecessarily. All right, let's see what happens. All right, so for you, another second. For me, I've been messing with this thing for probably 20 minutes at this point. I cannot get it to work. Here is what happens. I follow the directions. I hold this button and this button at the same time. Takes about 5 seconds. It starts chirping. By the way, the chirping happens up front, which I'm outside right now, and you know, we have planes flying, we have cars, other delivery trucks and stuff. It's very hard to hear the chirp because the chirp is rather quiet, and it happens up front. See, I like the little Subaru thing in the headlights housing. But I finally got to chirping, and you know, I followed the instructions. I try to set a pretty simple passcode where, you know, if you want to have a 0, you have to hit this button 10 times for 0. So I tried not to do that. So I tried single digits, basically. Well, they're all single digits, but I tried not to, try not to go for the 10, right? Because it's 1 through 10 is the code. So I'm messing around with it. I got the chirp. I entered it once. Okay, waited for it. And basically the idea is you have to enter it twice to confirm is what you want. And nothing seems to happen. So I tried it again. Nothing seems to happen. I tried it for the 3rd time, and I think I got it. But then when I try to enter this code, here, I'm going to try it right now. I know you can't see what I'm doing, and I'm trying to keep my code away. Yeah, nothing happens. Nothing happens. So it does lock the car, but because I do have the thing in my pocket, it unlocks it. I put the fob away to test it, thinking that the chirping, you know, I got the chirping thing to stop, and nothing happens. So I will live the rest of my life not having the Subaru's remote code. I think it's going to be just fine. It's a very goofy thing. I guess I will put it on the list of stuff that I don't like about this car. But at the same time, it's such a minor thing that for our lifestyle, yeah, we don't really go, you know, kayaking or in the forest wilderness. And if we do, the key will be with me all the time. Maybe I'll put it in my pocket, or maybe a plastic bag or something, because ultimately I'm not planning to do this. So yeah, that's a very strange feature, I would say. Like, if you're gonna do it, I think the way that the Ford does it right now, with the little strip in the with like, well, I guess it would be the B pillar in the door, it is very classy. It's hidden. It works. I use it on my car almost every day, and I love it. And even in the town car, when we had the keypad here, or you know, in the older cars, I used it. I do use it. It gives me a, you know, sense of the future kind of deal. That button in the back, I don't know what they were thinking. Why in the back, number one? Why this stupid button? I mean, I understand if you want to have 3 buttons and you can enter the code that way, but also the learning curve, as far as like the learning of this thing, you got to hold this thing, got to let it chirp, you got to put this thing and that thing, and it's like, no. You know what, guys, if you're gonna do it right. Otherwise, I mean, I wonder if they've done any market research. How many, you know, handful of people who use it. Well, in any case, guys, I will see you around, and I'll let you know if anything else interesting comes in with this car. Comes up, I shouldn't say come in, comes up with this car. Well, that's a weird gasket. Look at this. The door gasket. See, I keep learning new things. The door gasket is fine, but then here you have like a little flared, but it's not like it's broken. It's designed this way. Huh. Very strange. Okay, in any case, see you, everybody.